Good afternoon. I hope it isn't true. And what I hope isn't true, and I know a lot of other people hope it isn't true, is it was a live video that we did this morning. I think it was like 1 hour and 21 minutes long. And the thumbnail had one single letter. And it was white, it was a white letter imposed over a black background or a black background with I don't know how it was. But we read some pretty interesting, disturbing, but not really graphic things concerning that letter and the all of the talk behind it, what it represented, and what it shouldn't represent, but could possibly represent. Hello, Ezek. And it was the I don't know which letter of the alphabet it was, but it was the Q. It was the letter Q of the alphabet. And it was an article that was shared that I guess this website that, I don't know, investigates things, it did a thorough background check on all of it. And all of these things, probably not all of the things that were linked to it, but I I learned a lot. I did, even though I'm glad there was no getting into graphic stuff, except when they came to the very bottom of their news article that they put. I couldn't finish reading it because it got too graphic. But the stuff that it was pertaining to before that, about the deep state and all of that, hello there, incognito, and about Trump, there is the possibility that it could be true. There really is. You may say, Gina, you know it's true. Well, there are some theories out there that were considered conspiracies that turned out to be true. There are, and there's nothing they can do about that. I think it's meant to lead people down a different trail. Hey, Peppy. Yeah, you're folding the laundry. I've been up here messing around in my studio on the other side of it and doing some straighten up. You hope you late. What's true? It's the live video that I did this morning. And you know what? It said this video is earning limited ads because of the subject matter. But all I did was read an article, but it was only earning limited ads, if any at all. The ads on that would be totally limited. Oh, now I'm on a blue screen. The blue screen of death. No, that's not the blue screen of death. Oh, we got the cubes again. Look at that. The cubes again. The cubes never did go away. Hello there in Canada. I'm supposed to be showing you what I was wanting to show you. And I didn't know half of it. I didn't. I didn't know about the Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. I didn't know the conspiracy behind she had to get to be president so she could pay back her money that they stole from the Haitians for the hurricane relief fund. There's a conspiracy theory that it was funneled through somewhere through the Clinton Foundation, and Obama was going to help her get to be president. So I guess they could pay back that money. And there was something about some kind of conspiracy named Pizzagate, and something about adrenochrome and something about Trump is going to drain, well, he said he was going to drain that swamp, and something about Trump's going to take down the deep state. And the military, there was some high-ranking military officials that wanted to put Trump into president so he could help take down the deep state. And this article was written from a point of view that it was all a conspiracy, and it was all geared toward hate and anti-this and right-wing extremists. And there was no mention of any left-wing extremists because, you know, you can't have just a right. I can't just have a right arm and just ignore my left arm. No, you got the left-wing extremists, you got the right-wing extremists, you got the centrists. I used to be very centrist. I still am like a centrist, more or less, but I am very conservative, but I'm not super, super way over there on that other end's conservative. I'm a tad bit liberal, but I'm not way over there. I'd like to live in a peaceful world, and I want to have balance. I was going to say that, Chiquita. I'm supposed to be getting to that. This video this morning, they cut me off before I even got to finish the article, and the live stream just like starts spinning and spinning and spinning. It disconnected me, so when I connected, I was frozen. I was sitting there looking like I was connected. The seconds and the minutes on my live stream, like now it says 6:40, they weren't even moving. The comments ceased, and they kept that video spinning around in a circle for at least 20 to 30 minutes. And in the meantime, I had to go and do a different live stream to let them know that they kicked me off. They did. Oh, look. Oh, look, I got a thing saying I'm live. I look kind of rough. That's okay. My hair is a little wild. It was this video this morning, right there. And I had to come back. I said that was part 1. And I had to come back and do this in my shed to finish it, about what that meant. If you never knew what the conspiracy was behind the Q or the QAnon, that is a very good video. Whoever wrote that article, and I think somebody wrote it, they did a really, really, really good job laying it all out. Even though it was from the point of view as a conspiracy, they did an excellent job. It was a rather juicy read, and I don't like to use that word in my vocabulary at all, but I'm normally one that will not read something, but that literally caught my attention. All the things they had to say about Q and the QAnon. You want to know what's true? Well, there's a lot of things that are true in this world. And there are a lot of things that aren't true, and it's up to us to come to an understanding within our own self. Really, yeah. It's a really good video. It is an excellent. It's an excellent read. Yeah. They never wanted Trump to become president again. They didn't. It was let me see if I can get it. It was published on May the 4th of 2020, and they updated it on October the 28th of 2022, and that's all the labels they put underneath it. All the labels. And that was one of the longest articles I've ever read, but it was done really good because it told both sides, and then as it ended the article, it said that they, I guess, did not support either. They just putting out the information. Yeah. So, Gina, Gina, I got a job. I've had a job ever since I was born on this earth. Just like a lot of people. Yeah. The wonder of the towers, that was something. Remind me of the two towers on the Lord of the Ring. It doesn't. And then in the midst of the one thing is the big eye of Sauron. Yeah. Let me ring my bell. I would listen to that article if you don't know much about the phenomenon, all the talk behind the Q and the QAnon. That'll bring you up to speed. It's not going to get into the nitty gritty details, but they just so happen to put in some very violent things at the end, pointing people out for what they did. And I'm not condoning what they did because there's no need to go out and do what they did, but they got pretty graphic. And they use people as examples and say that they were connected to the Q or the QAnon. But they didn't talk about all the other stuff that was allowed, like the BLM and all that kind of stuff, when they were allowed to go and ransack cities, destroy the buildings, burn down the buildings, go and do this and go and do that. No, this is the Albert, honey. Hello. So, yeah, I really hope all of it isn't true, but I'm sure there is some truth. There's a little bit of truth in everything. Even those who tell their little white lies because they're telling like a little white lie. Well, there's some truth in your little white lie, but you're not telling the whole truth. You're just packing it full of a lot of falsehoods associated with that little bitty whatever. Yeah, you like it? My friend gave it to me. It kind of matches the green screen right there. Yeah, my divider wall. Yeah. So this right here. Yeah. It went into so much detail. When I see the word decentralized, you know what I think about? I think about crypto, and I think about decentralized, I don't know what those things are called, coins, and I don't know. I think of the crypto industry. I do when I hear decentralized money systems. 2025 is going to be 10 years and 1 year. Wow, Joseph. Yes, that really be time has sped up, wouldn't it? Yeah, currency. Thank you. Decentralized currency. In that video from this morning, they talked about the global elite, the banksters and stuff, and Trump just bringing it all down, pulling the rug out beneath them and exposing them. It talked about Guantanamo Bay and stuff, how there was a list and that all of that kind of stuff. I remember Mitt Romney in the news. He said he's worried that Trump was going to come after him, and the news had Trump is making his list of people that he's going after. That is the news that has been coming out here and saying that. The news itself. And then we read that this morning, and they're saying all of that's a conspiracy theory, that there is no such thing. There is such a thing happening. Yeah. You can't wait to January the 20th. That's why he is owned by Musk. You think he's owned by Musk? I wouldn't go as far because that is an absolute statement. And I really don't believe that that can be an absolute truth because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We may think we know, we may claim we know, but it's all what we perceive with our eyes and what we hear and read and see elsewhere. I can't make that statement, and I won't make a statement like that. He's making his list and he's checking it twice. Yeah. On election. I don't know that. And it mentioned also in this video that people talk about white hats. Well, they were giving the account as no such thing as white hats. Is there a such thing as white hats? All I know is he's not very liked Trump is not very liked for some strange reason by some individuals on this earth. Yeah, it's a fact. Let me help you out. No, see, I'm done with you. Don't you think that I'm a doormat, that you're gonna come in here and do that? I'm sorry, you're gone. Now you'll wonder, I can't comment anymore. Yeah, so you're trying to hijack the live stream is what you're trying to do. Judge nothing before it's time. That's scripture right there. Judge nothing before it's time. Yeah. So that one right there. White hats, you know what white hats remind me? It used to be Gandalf the Grey. And then when Gandalf defeated that fire-breathing monster, he came back to life. I'm Gandalf the White. And he had a white, I don't know if he had a white hat, but he had all dressed in white. Gandalf the White. He came back even more powerful than he was before. Yeah. Hello. If you're just tuning in, I really hope it isn't true. All of it. I'm pretty sure that some of it is true. And there's a lot more. And we know that both the left and the right, they have their trolls. They have their bot farms. And the Earth Alliance. Thank you, Al Honey. That resonates very well in my being. I like that. The Earth Alliance. Because the Earth has been done wrong. It truly has. It's been done wrong, and blood has been shed upon the earth, and it's really sad. Just like Cain and Abel, the earth cried out because his brother's blood was spilt on the ground, and God found out, and God was not happy at all. Yeah. God, the Most High, says, trust in him, trust no man, but him only to guide us. Well, God used Moses to be the guide. Yeah. Moses didn't want to do it. He didn't, but he ended up doing it. He did. And Jesus was supposed to be a good example. He was a man, but he was more than a man. But God used him. It was his only begotten son. Yeah. You can't use that as a blanket statement. You cannot. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not. All of creation groans for the coming of the Son of Man. Hello. The wind is howling out there. Yeah, this right here, I hope it's not true. It's a really good, if you're interested in hearing the key points. It was really well written. I got to give it to them, and they kept my attention for the whole 1 hour and 20 minutes. They kept my attention. It was very, very suspenseful. It had all the key players, and they said something about George Soros in there, that he was responsible for a lot of things. Yeah. Um, hello. No white hats. There are white hats. There are. A lot of people know white hats. There's people who watch this video who are white hats. It does exist. They also talked about the Q secret clearance. It's a very high level of clearance, and they don't know where the Q drops or anything like that was coming from either. They don't know. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, let's see. That's all right, you all. It is. I like to explore different topics, and I never know what I'm going to explore. Maybe tonight I'll be exploring the sun again with the ships on the sun, the cubes coming out of the sun, because they've added another day probably on the NASA product. The NASA, like, I don't know, it's a different filtering on the sun that shows the cubes coming out of the sun. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Don't come on here and troll, because if you're going to troll, you're going to just be seen right out the door. It's a happening. We got an X flare out, honey. Now, we could have oh, just think. What about around the time that Trump takes president? And they said he was not coming back into office. The article was written as if he promised to come back. And they didn't really want him back at all. They tried everything within their power to stop him, and he is president. And they were insinuating that the people who were going for Trump, according to their conspiracy theory mindset, that the people who wanted to make sure the elections were all forthright, they were saying that they probably going to go out and probably rig it. But then the saying, too big to rig, came about. Yeah. Pippi Lou, honey, you're doing great. Yeah. There was only 2 videos this morning. This is my 3rd video, but this is the one that I did right here. And it was pretty good. It really made a lot of sense to me. If you wanted to find out, ta-da! Builder Spring, that's right, ta-da. If Q was just a conspiracy, then why did they fight so hard to shut it down? When James O'Keefe on Project Veritas did an undercover video with Jack Dorsey, Jack said they were going to silence President Trump and anything Q related. And it did happen. It happened. Let's read those comments under this video, you all. We can do it. Oh. Unistaller, Instagram, fear mongering. Gina, it's well, they talked about both of it, Drew. They did. We're in a battle of good versus evil, and we know how it wins. We do know. Gina, listen to your audience. I got to listen to the spirit within me. I do the videos, and there's a lot of people on this YouTube channel who come into the comment section. Not everybody has the complete mindset that's going to match up with everybody else. People have different points of view, and there's a lot of different views in a lot of videos that I do. And I don't know what you're saying, Gina. Listen to your audience. Yeah. Well, I listen at times. I see all the different points of view, and I don't follow nobody. I truly don't, because there's many different points of view out here. If I listen to like one individual or one certain mindset, I would not be open. I would not be able to explore all the other mindsets and how these people form the conclusions that they form if I didn't just keep an open mind. I do like to have an open mind, but when troops are seen, when I see the truth that some are saying is not the truth, and I see, wow, they said this wasn't real, but it really is because it's happening. Yeah, I have an open mind. I really do, to some degree. But am I going to sit and read the comment sections the whole time? Absolutely not. I would not even be able to do a video. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's very hard when you're doing a live stream and everybody has a difference of opinion, and they're throwing out here, you need to know this, you need to know that, you need to know this, you need to know that, you need to listen to me. No, you need to listen to me. We're trying to tell you, Jenny, you just keep on going. Yeah, I'm reading an article. I'm reading an article without stopping and jumping to one specific conclusion. Yeah, that's right. The new moon? Yeah. I think I saw a bit of pieces of the fall of the cabal. I did. You're open-minded, and that's great. Yeah, no, I can't I'm not going to have the same mindset that somebody else is. I'm not going to do what they want me to do. Then there leaves no room for individuality. There leaves no room for God to work in me, for the Spirit to lead and guide me if I'm having somebody else telling me what to do and what to say. Yeah, that's how it works. Even you, if you have someone else making all your decisions for you, telling you what to think and what to say, then how can you even form any rationalized thinking within yourself? Where's your critical thinking skills? You gotta be able to do your own research. And there's a lot of good comments that come through here. What are we talking about? You always thought that was a, oh yeah, oh, you always thought that that was a cue at the Hawaii observatories. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when the light would shine out, it looked at when we would go to the Hawaii observatories, there was like a great big light that would shine out. It looked like in the shape of a circle, like a zero. But I never thought of a cue before. I did not. Yeah, I didn't know it. Um, the CIA cloned the people, or they cloned the term. Yeah. Best info ever explained. Eyes wide open. Just reverse the opposite. It was really, really good. Eyes wide open. I really appreciated that article a lot, because it got the information out there without um, leaning one way or another, more or less. They just used the facts that were given, which was great. Yeah. So I am going to go. I'm going to be going quite shortly. So I hope it's not true. Yeah. But as with some conspiracy theories, and there are so many of them, some of them turn out to be true years and years and years later. Oh, you're so welcome, Al, honey. That's right. I'm going to go. I would encourage you to. Oh, Renee, you're welcome. I thought, is that Ronnie? Ronnie, honey, where's your wrench, Ronnie, honey? I had to look twice at that. I did. Um, yeah. You can read. You can read the comments. See, I've never heard of this cue. Well, yeah, I've heard of them both, but that was probably the extent. I learned a lot, but I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of all that. I just want to know that's too much for my mind. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Pippi. I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. And I'm sure a lot of ugly things are going to be coming out. I said that probably 3 weeks ago. A lot of terrible things, and you're not going to want to hear them. You're not going to want to see what happens, and it's not all going to be beautiful. It's going to be a lot of turmoil. My TV just turned off when I said that. It did. See what it's doing? Oh, it's never. Oh. Wow. It's going to be lights out. I was listening to, it was Isaiah, and I had paused it. But for that to do that right here and now, to do that blink, blink, and then shut itself off, that's, let me flip this. Let me see. 12. 0, 0, 12. All right, I'm going to go. I look at that as a spiritual sign. I do. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Thank you, moderators.